What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Echoes of Elsewhere, the podcast where abandoned stories and forgotten spaces finally get a voice. I'm your host, Courtney Autumn, and today we've got a guest whose presence in the URBEX world speaks for itself. Joining me is the creator behind some of the smoothest, most immersive abandoned walkthroughs online, Jeremy Explores. Jeremy has this rare ability to step into a space and let it breathe, letting the silence, the textures, and the history speak for themselves. His calm approach, respect for decay, and sharp eye for detail have earned him a very loyal following. In this episode, we talk about how he started, what keeps him exploring, the moments that shaped him, and we end up diving into some personal depths that added a whole new layer to the conversation. So settle in and let's step into the shadows with Jeremy Explores. How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
37.
Okay, so we're relatively the same age. How old were you when you started exploring?
Maybe 7.
Wow.
Yeah. So what's cool is my mom, we had this old barn that was out in the middle of these woods and it had all these antiques inside of it. And man, if that thing still existed, it would make for a great video. There was like a classic car inside of it. There was all these art easels and all these old paintings and all this old farm equipment and lanterns from the 1800s. And it was such a sick place.
Wow, interesting.
And I remember being in that place and exploring that as a kid, and I was fucking Indiana Jones. And there were lizards inside of it. This is back in Memphis. And there was like lizards and there were snakes inside of it that we would catch. And my mom would catch these snakes and be like, Jeremy, look, this is a king snake. It's a beautiful creature. It's harmless. It may look scary, but this is a beautiful creature. Here, hold it. And I learned about nature. I learned about some of my first fears that I had, and that was in that place. And I learned that fear was not a thing to run from. It was a thing to be curious about.
Yeah.
And maybe something that you should examine and maybe even run toward rather than away from. Like a snake.
Yeah.
So I think that that's when it began. And from then it was on.
Yeah. And then all bets were off.
All bets were off.
Yeah.
That was it.
I was the same way. That's so interesting. So once you got over to Kentucky, what was that like as far as your opportunity to explore? Was there a lot of stuff there that you could even get into, or what's the lay of the land?
Yeah, for sure. So our closest neighbor was a mile away. We were out in the middle of nowhere, cornfields, but we had abandoned coal mines.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. You would explore those?
Mm-hmm.
And were you a kid still?
Yeah, I was about 12. So I moved to Kentucky when I was like 11, and I lived there till I was 20.
Oh, wow.
And
that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's like the most impactful, crucial time of your adolescent life. Like at that age, you're the most sensitive there. And whatever happens, whatever you do at that time of your life really does kind of set the course for the rest of your life. And I just happened to be wired to explore when I was finding these coal mines. And again, I just felt like Indiana Jones. I really did.
I can see you going in there with like your headlamp on.
Yeah. I guess I had a vivid imagination at that time. But yeah, it's just... I would always get scared to go inside these places, but it's like, it's the adrenaline, and that's why you do it. I mean, that's why I did it at that time.
Yeah.
But
well, I noticed when watching your videos, you're one of the most relaxed explorers to listen to. That's why I was curious, because I feel like most explorers that have been exploring since they were kids kind of get that second nature to them, and they don't even realize it.
It's interesting you say that, because I don't consider this second nature for me at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like a kid. I'm like a fucking kid every time. And
maybe that's what it is.
maybe I'm
It's
just
just
like,
the joy that it brings
maybe I'm
you.
just jaded and I don't get excited about anything. No, that's not true. No, I'm just like a kid, man. Like this lights me up every time. It's the one thing that just never gets old. And, music got old for me. I did music for years as a career in Nashville.
Oh, really?
And and after a while that got super fucking old. But the only thing that stayed consistent is exploring for me. And I get really excited. It does take me back to being a kid every time. And there's a boy inside of me that just gets fucking amped. But that's interesting that you would say that I don't sound excited, because
No, I think you do. You can tell you're happy. You're just very calm when you're doing it. And I noticed that. I picked up on that. And I was like, you can just tell he's been doing this forever,
You know what it probably is? It's probably an overcompensation because I'm terrified. No, I'm serious.
That I don't pick up on at all ever.
Really? Yeah.
Maybe I will say in your Ukraine videos, I think your last Ukraine video, the more recent one that you put out, that one, when the alarms were going off, or the sirens, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, that was the only time I even think I noticed like an expression on your face that was a little unsettled. And I was like, this is the first time I feel like I've seen him nervous in a video. Like, normally you seem just so cool, calm, and collected. So you play that off very well.
Well,
if you're
next
terrified.
batch of Ukraine videos, you're definitely going to see me pretty scared.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine. Some of those moments were kind of hard to watch in an emotional way, that goes deeper than your general explorer, obviously. What inspired you to go over to Ukraine?
It's hard to tell you that without giving you a bit of backstory. So obviously I've been doing abandoned exploration for a long time. It started out with Instagram, about 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it was amazing when the word URBEX came out, I heard about this word and I started looking under hashtags, and I discovered that there's other people in the world like me who do this. I didn't know that. I thought I was the only person I had ever met that had done this. So I started posting this type of content. I made a separate page for it. And at that time it was called Abandoned Nashville. And it was just basically featuring Nashville places.
Oh, okay.
And, obviously time goes on, COVID hits, I start making YouTube videos. Now I'm exploring abandoned castles in France and like chateaus and fucking palaces in Italy. It doesn't make any sense to be called Abandoned Nashville anymore. So I was like, what if I just rename it and future-proof this and just say Jeremy Explores? I don't even want the word abandoned in it. And I don't want some location in the name either. What if I just say Jeremy Explores? Because that's what I do. I explore life. And I explore myself, really. I think that's what this is really about for me. And after a few years of doing this, it kind of got old. There's only so many stories that you can tell with these abandoned places of, the man dies, the wife grieves herself to death. Now the children have the property and it's caught up in litigation in court. Meanwhile, the place is decaying, and that's the story of this place. And that's honestly most of these stories. It's either abandoned because of death or just lack of understanding. Yeah, exactly. Lack of understanding the value of these places. And, I just felt like there was something more inside of me. Like, I don't want to just limit myself to just being an explorer of abandoned places. Just how I didn't want to only limit myself to being a drummer in Nashville. I felt like there was something else inside of me. There were stories that I want to tell. I just didn't have an outlet for it. And, so when I was in Europe last year, I was on this big trip with Carter, and we were exploring all these abandoned places, and don't get me wrong, they were incredible. But the whole time I just felt a void, and it was getting louder. Like, I need to do something else. I just don't know what it is. And eventually Carter went back home, and I continued the trip without him. Now I'm doing this thing solo, and I'm driving through Italy, and I stay at this bed and breakfast, and I'm at breakfast. And in Europe, these bed and breakfasts are very communal. We all sit at a table with each other, and everyone's from different parts of the world, and we're all talking and trying to speak each other's language or whatever. And there's this girl that's in the fucking room, and she sounds Russian. And I was like, where are you from? And she's like, I'm from Ukraine. By the way, I've always had this fascination with the Soviet Union. I'm a huge World War II history buff. I fucking love history, specifically that era of our fucked up history. Mm-hmm. And since 2022, I get up almost every day and read about the war in Ukraine. And I've never like thought to go. But anyway, I'm talking to her, and we're talking about her politics, and I know more about Ukraine politics than I do about fucking America's. And
probably for the best at this point.
Yeah, it probably is. And she's like, dude, why don't you just go? And I was like, well, you can't go to Ukraine, right? She's like, yeah, you can absolutely go to Ukraine. You have to fly to Poland and get a train from Warsaw and then go to Kyiv. And that's how that happens. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm going. She's like, when? I was like, I don't know, Tuesday.
Oh.
And she's like, you're fucking crazy. But that's honestly how I live. Right. I had a crazy idea. I was like, dude, I kind of want to move to LA. Boom, I moved to LA like a month later.
That's insane.
I'm impulsive. I'm a bit unhinged. I'm a bit psychotic. And I believe you have to be this way sometimes if you want to get shit done.
No, that's totally true. We're on the same energy level. So
yeah,
I get it.
It's important. And so, so I went to Ukraine, and I've never made videos like this where I'm documenting people and an experience of something outside of abandoned places. But I just felt like it's so important that I go and do this. If anything, it's just going to stretch me as an artist, and it's going to teach me a new way of editing or whatever. To my surprise, I go and I film my experience and come home and release the videos, and they do really well. And a couple of months later, vidIQ hits me up, and they were like, yo, do you want to host and direct this docuseries that we have planned? We'll fly you to Ukraine. We'll provide you a crew of your choice. We'll rent you all the gear that you need. We want you to go over there, and we want you to interview artists living through the war on the front lines and pick their brains basically to discover how it is that they get up every day, even though they're facing these challenges. And how do they get up every day? How do they find their will to create? How do they just keep moving? Mm-hmm. And so that's what I did. And that's the series that we're working on right now.
That's so interesting. I bet you didn't expect that at all from releasing those videos.
Fuck no. No, I never could have imagined. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. But that's the beauty of being a psycho.
It pays off.
Of being impulsive and being like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like every urban explorer that I've ever met has that thing. Mm-hmm. It's like almost like this punk mentality.
Mm-hmm. It's like a rebel without a cause kind of thing.
Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah. Oh, illegal trespassing sign? I didn't see a trespassing sign. Mm-hmm. I can't read English.
I never have seen one in my life.
But honestly, it's a perfect training ground for everything that I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely sounds like one thing evolved into another, and it was just kind of a ripple effect. But URBEX was always the core of that almost.
And it always will be.
Yeah, always will be. So you saying that it's the first time that you documented people, was that harder for you to go back and edit and put together versus what you're
hard.
used to? Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I had to relearn how to edit, which is good. It was like editing a video for the first time. And because it's so story based, like obviously with the band and stuff, it's also story based where you tell the story up front, or maybe you sprinkle the story throughout, but you're in control of the narrative, and it's all done in post. This is done in real time, and you're talking to people, and you're having to piece together the story and edit out the ums and ahs and the filler sentences, and just finding the story within that big conversation that's going to resonate with an audience. And it's so hard, and I'm still not good at it, I don't think. But
I beg to differ.
So I went to Chernobyl.
You did? Oh my God, tell me everything.
Yeah. Okay, so I was like, fuck it, I'm here. I'm going to do all the things, because I don't know when the next time I'm going to be back here is,
That's true, yeah.
It could be a few years from now. It could be next month. I don't know. But I'm going to savor this moment. And so the translator that I hired, her name is Natalia, and you might already follow her on Instagram. It's Lady Adventure.
I gotta look now. That seems familiar.
Yeah, you might already follow her. She's an URBEXer in Ukraine. And she has the largest TikTok following of, I think, anyone in Eastern Europe. She's like at 3-4 million followers on TikTok.
Oh my
gosh.
And
most of her content is just abandoned content from Chernobyl.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. So that's how I met her. I hired her as a translator for this documentary, and also just a production assistant. And then at the end of the trip, she was like, oh, also another detail about her is that before the war, what she was doing for a career, she was a Chernobyl tour guide.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So she's got the connects at Chernobyl.
Oh, you're so lucky.
All the staff. She has access to shit that fucking journalists can't even get to. And so she was like, dude, so I don't know what you're doing after this documentary, after we get done with the production, but if you got a few days, we can go to Chernobyl and I can get you inside of reactor number 4. And I was like,
say less.
Yeah. Like, clearly we're doing that. So we drive to Chernobyl, and the first day we arrive at the power plant, and we put on our hazmat suits, and we go through all the scans, and we go inside. We're like in the control rooms of these places. I'm standing on reactor number 3, and then we go into the sarcophagus. Like the whole thing was unreal, because this is like top URBEX destination in the fucking world.
Yes.
And right now I'm editing some of those videos, working on them, and I'm just watching some of the footage back, and I'm like, I can't believe this fucking happened. But
like, I was there.
Yeah, and it's all Natalia. Like, she just hooked it up.
That's awesome.
She made it happen.
You hired the right person for a translation.
Oh my God, I truly did. Yeah.
I was going to ask who that was with you and how you got to link up with her, because she seemed like a very useful asset to have on hand for that.
And she's such a dear friend. Like, she's such a beautiful person. And any excuse that I have to use Natalia, I'm gonna use her for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's incredible. She's been through a lot. She's was a refugee at the beginning of the war.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, her family fled to Berlin.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, at the beginning of all this.
Where is she now? Is she in
She's
Berlin
back in
still?
Kyiv.
Oh, she is. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
she's
Wow.
back in Kyiv doing she's doing a lot of translation jobs for like media companies, and she's also doing tours of Kyiv.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah, basically it's like war tourism that she does.
Wow, that is so
Isn't that crazy?
interesting. That's crazy. I didn't even think of that as a concept.
Yeah,
I honestly didn't even know that tours were happening like that in Chernobyl. I thought it was just like too dangerous of a place to be near.
in a lot of areas it is. Like the Red Forest, radiation's really high, but because Natalia has access, we were like, fuck it, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
We can't spend.
Well, and you got geared up too, so that's different, you know.
We got geared up, but the gear still doesn't protect you from all of it. You can only spend like 20 minutes at a time in some of these places.
Wow.
Because you're getting blasted with radiation. Yeah, you're getting like 50 X-rays.
That's terrible.
Into reactor number 4, they were like, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, we get the fuck out. You got it? I was like, yes. We walk in there and we walk out, and I'm like, how much radiation do you think we were just exposed to? And they were like, we all just got about 10 CAT scans. And I'm like,
oh my God. That's intense.
God. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It just makes you wonder, how do people even work on the grounds and stuff? Because they have to go there every day, you know?
They do it in shifts. Because I asked her that question. I was like, how does this even work?
Yeah.
She said they'll do shift. They rotate. So a guy will go in with a jackhammer, set up the jackhammer, and he leaves. The next guy comes in, operates the jackhammer for about 10 minutes, and he leaves. Next guy comes in, finishes that jackhammer job for about 10 minutes, and he leaves. Next guy comes in and removes the jackhammer and leaves.
Oh my gosh. So it's like a 40-minute job takes literally 4 people. That's crazy.
Yeah, 40-minute jobs takes fucking all day. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
I
truly
didn't even
like,
really think about that.
yeah, it's truly like a human feat that they've been able to even build the sarcophagus, build this dome over reactor 4, build all the scaffolding, just this entire structure that's so complex. Like it's amazing that they were even able to do that. Mm-hmm. Because of how much.
Yeah, because what do you even do? What other option do you have? You can't do anything else with it.
Yeah, you just fucking
literally
cover the damn thing up.
I guess that's the safest thing anyway. You can't you can't demo it.
Yeah, you can't. That's it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's stuck.
Wow, that's so interesting. Did you film a lot of that, or were you like allowed to? Is there legal stuff against that?
Mm-hmm.
Or
I filmed all of it.
You did?
Yeah, the entire experience. I just kept the camera rolling. There were obviously parts that you can't film because right now Chernobyl is very militarized because Russia occupied it. Russia had full control of Chernobyl in 2021. And then Ukraine came in with their forces and basically deoccupied it. So all throughout Chernobyl now, it's basically a military outpost. There's tanks set up all alongside the roads. There's, there's dugouts. There's machine gun nests set up everywhere. So anytime you're filming and we're approaching one of these outposts, I have to put the camera down. So it was difficult to film Chernobyl, and it's never been this difficult to film Chernobyl because of this reason. But I still have, really good footage of the place, and obviously went to Pripyat, filmed all of Pripyat. There's only like 2 buildings in Pripyat you can't point a camera at. And but other than that, the power plant, there's a lot of military activity going on inside the power plant. So you can't film any soldier. Even if you have a journalist or a press accreditation, you can't film soldiers.
Wow.
And so I was constantly having to put my camera down when we were walking through there. But I have, footage of reactor number 4 control room. It's very abandoned. And on the Geiger counter, the radiation counter, the radiation in that control room is extremely high.
I can imagine.
And it's funny because I'm editing these, I'm coming back, looking through all this footage, and I can't explain it. You can hear the radiation in the audio.
What do you mean?
I swear to God. So it's a tap, like all throughout the audio.
No way.
Yeah. And this mic that I'm using was the exact mic that I was using inside of the power plant. And you're not getting any of that through this microphone. It only was happening inside the power plant.
Were you initially like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I was. I was like, oh my God, why are these fragments in my audio? And I realized it only happened when we walked into rooms with extremely high radiation.
Wow. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
And concerning.
Yeah, a little bit. But like, I try not to think about shit too much. And I guess some people call it reckless, but I call it, I don't have a name for it. I call it being me. And
you're just doing your thing.
I call it fuck it.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing to call it. I agree with that though.
Yeah, I think the goal of life isn't to be safe. I don't even think the goal of life is to be happy.
I don't know. What's the goal of life? I think the goal of life is for me to like do and see as much as I want. I don't know.
And what does that look like?
I don't know yet, but that's what I like about it. You know, it looks adventurous.
Yeah.
And mysterious and unknown. That's what it looks like.
I like that.
But right, like, I don't know. I think you're right. I don't think that the goal of life is happiness, or I think some people would define it as that, I'm sure, but I don't know. I think it's deeper than that.
I think it is deeper than that. I think it's, in my opinion, one-dimensional, where I feel like, especially with social media and pop psychology, everyone's obsessed with attaining this happiness, arriving to happy. It's this journey you must go on and arrive to this place. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be 80 years old or however old I will be when I'm on my deathbed and look back on my life and say, you know what? I was happy the whole time.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
Sounds pretty dry.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look back and say, man, I grieved. I got my heart broken. I experienced pain. Man, that one summer when I fucking shattered my femur, man, that sucked. But boy, did I learn a lot from that. Mm-hmm. And that was the thing that I really needed at that time to really learn what I was made of. Mm-hmm. And man, when that girl fucked me over and shattered me, that was the year I learned to love myself. Mm-hmm. This is what happiness is to me. It's feeling it mm-hmm. and experiencing it.
Yeah, that's such a good way to put it. And you're right. Life deserves to be more textured, you know, and I think that comes from all those experiences that don't just define themselves as good or happy or any of that. It comes from really learning who you are. I think that's a lot. That's 50% of it, if not more. And a lot of people, I think, avoid that. Like you're saying, I see a lot of the people lose touch with themselves and reality in a way. They chase after this, I don't know what to call it, this fabricated happiness almost. It's instant gratification is what it is. It's not even happiness. It's just like, how quickly can I feel as good as I can? And usually that doesn't last. It's like the quicker you get there, the faster it goes away.
Yeah. Well, anytime that I find myself looking at my phone more than usual, I try now to be like, okay, wait a second. What's going on here? Mm-hmm. Why are you doing this? What are you distracting yourself from? Obviously, therapy has been great for that, for just kind of recognizing a little bit, just paying attention to what you're doing.
Makes you very self-aware.
Yeah, pay attention to what you're doing. Why did you pick up that vape?
Why did you ignore that no trespassing sign?
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's pretty healthy.
Coming from us, anyway.
Until you go to jail, which happened to me, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
How many times have you been in trouble?
I've been to jail 3 times.
What? For URBEX?
No, once for URBEX.
One.
Yeah, the other 2 were just dumb shit. Like there were weed charges when I was living in Kentucky back when I was like 20.
I see.
But 2 years ago, I went to jail for 5 days.
Did you get arrested at a place?
Yeah, so I was on a motorcycle trip, and I was trying to get to Virginia, and I was right on the Virginia border in eastern Tennessee, and it's like midnight, and I find this abandoned place on the side of the road that looks like this old plantation home. So I parked my bike. So I broke my number 1 fucking rule that I have for myself. And you can ask anyone I've explored with about this rule that Jeremy has. And in fact, Carter has an inside joke about it. What would Jeremy do? WWJD. Where I make exploration very difficult because I don't park anywhere close to the location. And I take the hardest route there. I will park across a mountain, hike through the woods, and get to the place just to get it from behind through the woods. I will not walk up the fucking driveway. And it drives me crazy when I explore with people and they just park in front of the place and walk.
I do that.
It drives me nuts. I'm like, you have no idea how risky this is. People are just driving down the road looking at, and oh my God, I'm just too paranoid for this.
Okay, no, I don't do it like that if I'm out in the open, but I'm sure you've been in the South like enough to know how the lay of the land is. And like, sometimes you're at houses, number 1, that are so overgrown like that you can hardly see it when you're approaching it until it's like right there in front of your face. But secondly, just like your lay of the land was in Kentucky, you're like a minute and a half away from your closest neighbor. So it also makes it very scarce for like the traffic that's coming through. I'm not like in the middle of the neighborhood in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, let me just roll into this driveway and walk into the store.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I will say, I think that I'm on the extreme spectrum or extreme into that spectrum. So it's probably.
No, I get it. I get it in both ways though. So I totally get like why you do that with caution, obviously. So.
Well, it just so happens to be the first time I broke my rule. I park in front of this place. It's late at night. I'm tired. I've been riding all day. It's exhausting to ride a motorcycle. And then you're like, yeah, you're tired and you see this place and you're like, oh, I'll just get off real quick. I'm going to run inside, check the place, see if it's even worth filming, and I'm going to leave. And that's what happened. I walked inside the place, shined the flashlight around a little bit, and I was like, yeah, this place is boring. There's a bunch of bird shit. That's pretty much it. And when I walked out to my bike, there's a guy in his big Ford F-150 parked in front of the bike with the headlights pointed at it, and he's standing out in the middle of the driveway with a gun.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, so then what?
I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to, what are you going to do?
What do you do? Yeah, you just have to
confidently walk up to the guy.
Yeah.
And he was just like, what the fuck are you doing on my property? And I was like, man, I've been riding all day and I just needed to pull over and I needed to pee. And I was peeing those bushes over there. He's like, well, that's interesting because I'm pretty damn sure you were just in my house. And I was like, oh, that place? No. I was right over there in those bushes. I was peeing. And in fact, I'm done peeing now. and I'm going to leave now, and you won't ever see me again. Sorry to scare you or disturb you. And I notice his wife is in the car, and she's filming with her cell phone. And this guy was like, well, you can't leave because the cops are on the way. And once they say that you can leave, that's when you can leave. And so just go over there and sit on your motorcycle and you stay put. And I swear to fucking God, if you try to run, I'm shooting your ass. And I was like, well, that's illegal. But also, you know how it is. We grew up in the South. I feel like these are cocky people who just feel like if you're on my property, I'm going to fucking shoot you.
Yeah.
So I sit down on the motorcycle and I'm just thinking about this whole thing. And he's now in his truck. He shuts the door. And I'm like, man, I don't want to deal with the cops. And I'm tired. And all I have to do is just start this bike.
And go.
And this guy's not going to catch me. Like, there's no fucking way he's going to keep up with me. And so I'm just sitting there thinking about it. 10 minutes goes by, cops don't show up. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm leaving. I start up the bike and I just take off.
You're so brave.
I was like, cops aren't coming. You know what I mean? It's just something dumb like trespassing. And so now I'm flooring it down this back road, this windy back road. I'm going like 70 miles an hour and this guy is chasing me. We're in a fucking high-speed chase. And I remember there was this L curve. You know, one of those curves that have the arrow signs like fucking curve here? I just remember approaching this thing at like 70 miles an hour on my motorcycle and being like, dude, you have to make the curve. Don't fucking wreck. Don't wreck. Because surprisingly, this guy is like catching up to you. And as I was about to approach this curve, suddenly from the other direction, a fucking cop car comes around, sirens blazing, lights on. He's coming around this curve so fast that he doesn't make it and he wrecks his car right in front of me. Yes. Totals the fucking car.
The cop.
Wrecks it. And there's a field with some trees in it. And he just fucking goes off in the field and spins out and just hits all these trees, or hits two trees. And there's like barbed wire that's wrapped around his car. His driver's side door is caved in. And at this point, I can't just run.
No.
This guy's got my license plate, I'm sure. And
now you've caused a whole situation.
I've caused a whole situation. The best thing I can possibly do is drive my motorcycle into that field and ask that cop if he's okay. So that's exactly what I do. And I drive up to him. He's trying to get out of his door and he can't. And so he's crawling out of the broken driver's side window. And I run up to him, helmet still on. And I'm like, hey, dude, are you okay? Do you need help? And he sees me and then just freaks out and gets his gun out, puts his gun on me, falls out of the fucking window of the thing. And he's screaming and he's having a panic attack. Like his hands shaking, his voice, like he's screaming and he's like, get on the fucking ground. And I get on the ground and I was like, oh my God, this guy's about to accidentally pull the trigger. Like he's not well. And luckily, and I was like, can I take my helmet off? He's like, no, just screaming. And he has his like foot on my back, his gun on the back of my head. And I just remember being like, this is it. This is how I'm going to die.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to have a panic attack from this story.
Well, someone needed to be calm in that situation. Like if I matched his energy level, they would only escalate things more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously.
I'm like just thinking, dude, you have to breathe. Just breathe. Someone's got to breathe here. And then around that time, his buddy shows up and He runs out into the field and he sees what's going on. He sees his friend with a fucking gun on the back of my head and he's shaking, having a panic attack. And he was like, Alejandro, go stand over there. Give me your gun. Give me your fucking gun. I got him. Give me your gun. And he was like, okay. And he hands his gun to him. And this guy's like, all right, dude, what's your name? And I was like, I'm Jeremy. Can I take my helmet off? He's like, yes, take your helmet off and don't fucking make any sudden movements. I was like, okay, take my helmet off. He's like, where's your gun? And I was like, I don't have a gun. He's like, dude, where's your fucking gun? And I was like, hey man, I don't have a gun. He was like, I'm going to ask you again. And I was like, where did you hear that I have a gun? He said, dispatch said you have a gun. Turns out the guy, the property owner of this house, had called the cops and said that there was a man inside his property who's armed and dangerous and threatened to shoot him.
What?
Because he knew that if he had just called for a trespassing...
Well, one, they wouldn't get there, and then if he decided to shoot you, then it looks all bad on him.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
You know how this shit goes? Like, you know how these people are?
They're insane.
It's fucking insane. And this guy owns all this property in this town, and he's Mr. Powerful, and he knows for a fact that if he did anything, they're not going to fucking do anything anyway.
Yeah.
This is how dangerous these situations are. Yeah. This is why when anyone asks me, my biggest fear with URBEX, it's always, well, rednecks. Mm-hmm. I love them. My family is redneck as fuck.
Mine too.
But like, I also know how they are.
Yeah, they're crazy.
They're fucking crazy and they're arrogant. So anyway, this guy, he didn't believe me, and they get the dogs out for like 2-3 hours. They're searching ditches. They're searching this field. They're searching all over the place for guns. And obviously
that doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning at this point. Finally, the guy walks up to me, and they're now starting to realize that I'm telling the truth. Mm-hmm. And his buddy wrecked his car because he thought he was on the way to a shootout. Mm-hmm. He thought he was on the way to save someone's life. Mm-hmm. And that's why he was already at a 10 and amped up and not using a lot of rationality and not driving
normal.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, normal. And they're all starting to realize this is all just one big mistake.
Well, and it explains why he was having a fucking panic attack, other than the fact that he totaled his own car. But like, he thought you were armed, so obviously he's thinking the worst as you're innocently trying to go help him. He thinks you're gonna go, like, you know, shoot him, pop a cap. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they're all just starting to understand that this is just one big misunderstanding. And so,
and then this guy that caused all this knows that he's going to go off unscathed.
He's going to go off unscathed.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've just been sitting on the side of the road, on my knees in handcuffs for the last 2 hours.
That's crazy.
And finally, the guy walks up to me, the nice cop, the non-unhinged one, walks up to me, and he's like, hey, man, I'm sorry about all this. As far as I'm concerned, you can leave. This is real shitty. And if you need that guy's information that made the false police report about you, I'd be happy to give it to you, because they were all pissed off at this guy for the scene that he had caused. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes, I would love his information. And also, I need my jacket as well. And can you take these cuffs off me? Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. And I will be on my way. I'm going to grab my keys. And you guys have a great night. Good luck with all this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fixing my jacket, getting back on my bike. I start to leave and realize, oh shit, they still have my license. I need to go get it from them. I turn around. I'm like, hey, dude, forgot to ask. I'm going to need my license back. And he's like, oh, yeah. My bad. He runs in his car, and I guess he decides to scan my license real quick before he gives it back to me. And he comes back. And he's like, Jeremy, dude, I'm so sorry to tell you this. Fuck, man. You got 2 warrants for your arrest.
What?
That's what I said. I was like, what? Not related to this? He's like, nah, man. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but I have to take you to jail. I was like, what? Are you sure that's me? And he was like, yeah, it's matching up to your name, your social security number. It's everything, all the information.
You're like, for fucking what?
Like, for fucking what? And he was like, all that says is trespassing YouTube video. And I was like, fuck, that's me. Yeah, that checks out. And so they impound my bike. They tow it away. They take me to jail.
Oh, my God.
And I thought I was just going to be there like overnight. And, you know, they take me, put me in an orange jumpsuit, make me bend over, check me for drugs, and put me in a cell. And I stayed all night in there. There's no concept of time in there because it's just fluorescent lights. There's no clock. So I don't know if it's day, night.
Yeah.
I don't know what's what. And I was in there for some amount of time. And this guard comes in eventually and was like, grab your shit. Let's go. I was like, am I out? And he's like, no, we're transferring you to cell block A. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, you'll see. So
no.
I grab my pillow and I'm like walking down the thing. I have like shackles on my ankles and wrists. Like I'm a fucking murderer.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Like over the top. And they fucking take me to down this hallway. And he's like, this is where you're going. Here's cell block A. And what it is this massive room with 30 bunks of all these inmates, all these men who live in this one room, 30 of them. And I was like, whoa. I'm not going in there. I mean, he's like, yep, that's where you're going. And I was like, whoa. I think that this is a big mistake. I thought that I was just being held for like overnight. He's like, no. You're going in there. I was like, how long am I staying here for? He's like, I don't know. Get the fuck in there. And I walk in and I swear to God, it's like the movies. They're fucking with you. All these inmates, all these men, they're literally being like fresh meat, blah, blah, blah. Like they're just like poking at you. And I'm like, I can't show that I'm afraid. I can't show weakness in this environment.
Yeah, of course.
So I have to walk head up and just go to my bunk. And I walk in to my bunk and this guy walks up to me. He's like, hey man, what's that? Just like the fucking movie. He's like, so, what are you in here for? And I was like, dude, you're not going to believe this. A fucking YouTube video apparently for trespassing. And he's like, get the fuck out of here. You're lying. And I was like, no, I swear to God, dude, this is what I do. I made a YouTube video. Apparently someone's mad at me and I have a trespassing charge that has landed me here. What are you here for? He's like, well, I'm here for meth. I was dealing meth and I've been here for 11 years now.
Oh my God.
Austin over here is here for murder. That guy's here for rape. That guy's was in a gang. He did a drive-by. And like, these are like people who are spending 30 plus years in prison.
And they have you in here with these men?
Yes. Yes, they do. And
for a YouTube video. They didn't even catch you in real time at the place.
But I found out why this happened. Because the guy who wrecked his car isn't an on-duty cop. He's not a deputy. He actually works at the jail. He's a guard at the jail. And he just so happened to be the closest to the scene of the crime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this guy had it out for me.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And he filed the paperwork in such a way because later on, I had all these same questions that you have. And I hired a lawyer to dive into this. Why the fuck did that happen? Uh-huh. And come to find out that's what it was. He pushed some buttons and arranged some paperwork to have me put in a cell. Oh, I was supposed to only stay in a holding cell. He had me put in a cell with 30 hardened criminals who have done some really bad things.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So
all because this guy. Just this one guy.
Because of this guy who owned the house that I was, yeah. But, you know, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So, honestly, it was a fascinating experience because when are you ever going to have the opportunity to be in a fucking cell with 30 other men? And I was like, honestly, I'm stuck here for a while. I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. It could be 30 days. It could be longer.
You're like, it could be 11 years.
I might as well like learn all I can from this experience and like talk to these guys and make friends. And Steve, he's a cool motherfucker. Like, he's a crazy motherfucker. He's just like a meth dealer. You know what I mean? And he's like, he kind of owns the room. No one fucks with Steve. And he's like kind of the perfect guy to know in this situation. And so like, Steve's not going to let anything happen to me. As long as I stay on Steve's good side. And so I kind of buddied up with Steve. And by like night 2, we're all like around a table playing poker, telling stories. And they're all just like, and they're calling me a crazy motherfucker. And it was so fun. Like it turned out to be a really fun experience. And there was guys in there who were in there for DUIs that were stuck there. And the whole time they just lay in their bunks with their blankets over their head. And I'm like, dude, you have the best opportunity. You're stuck here anyway. You might as well just like get everything out of it. Just embrace it. And you're going to have such a story to tell one day.
I bet that guy, that's like the ultimate karma for him too, for you to just go in there and not just create the best situation out of it, but now you're like friends with everyone. You're playing poker by night 2. So it's like, haha, you know, like he probably thought you were going to be shitting your pants the entire time. So I
was just like, man, this is going to make for a good story. And
that
one
is
night
a good story.
We're playing cards and we're kind of going around the tables. Steve was like, so Jeremy, tell Austin why you're here. Get this shit. This is fucking hilarious. And I was like, oh God, I make YouTube videos. I'm here for a fucking, and Austin's like, that is fucking dumb. I can't believe you're here. Like, what? And I was like, so Austin, what did you do? And Steve was like, yeah, Austin, tell Jeremy what you did. And I was like, what? What is it? And he's like, well, I stole a car. I was like, okay. When did you steal a car? He's like, 9 years ago. I was like, you've been in here for 9 years for stealing a car? He's like, no. And Steve was like, yeah, Austin. Tell him why you're really here. And Austin's like, man, so I was here for stealing a car. He's like, but Jeremy, there's a thing that you should know. There's 2 things that you never call a man in jail. One is a bitch and the other is a pussy. I was like, well, that's good to know.
You're like, what does this have to do with anything?
I was like, that's good to know. So did someone call you a bitch or a pussy, Austin? He said, yeah, man. Someone called me a bitch one night. I was like, so what happened? He's like, you see that wall over there? I put his head in that wall. And I was like, so where's he at? He's like, well, he's dead.
Oh my God.
Suddenly I'm like realizing that's why Austin's here. And Austin's got a 40-year sentence for a sentence he was originally sentenced to 3 months, and now he's in jail for pretty much for the rest of his life.
Oh my goodness.
And it's so interesting because you talk to each of these people and you ask them why they're there, and there's no ownership of what they did. They're like, oh, I was here for meth, and they justify it. Just how Austin was like, well, you have to understand, he did it to himself. As far as I'm concerned, he killed himself. You know, he called me a bitch. You can't do that. Rules are rules. And it was just a really interesting lens for a few days just to see how, like, these people think, how they operate, how there's not an accountability to their actions.
No.
They're all innocent.
They're sociopaths.
Yeah, it's sociopathic. They're all of them in their minds they're innocent. They're the good guys. It's the system that's the bad guy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're in here with these people because of a YouTube video.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So explain, how do you get out of that? Like, from behind bars, how do you even like figure out what to do?
So Steve helped me get out. I explained him my situation and he's like, bro, you're going to be stuck in here for a long time. He's like, that guy has it out for you. He's talking about Alejandro, the guy who wrecked the car. He's like, that guy has it out for you. And I'm telling you, Steve's the one who told me what was going on. These people know this place in and out. They know the system. They know how it is. He's like, wait, who wrecked his car? Oh, Alejandro? Bro, Alejandro's not even a deputy. He works here. He's like, I know exactly what fucking happened. That guy fucking hates you. He embarrassed himself by wrecking a police patrol car. And now he's blaming your ass for it. And now you're stuck in here. And you're going to be here for a long time. And the only way you can get out is by calling a lawyer. And you're going to have to pay quite a bit of money to do this. But this is how it works. This is how the system works. If you want to get out of here, you got to cough up some change. And so he helped me do it. He helped me get a phone, which, by the way, is illegal in this place. But that doesn't stop any of these motherfuckers from having shit. There were razor blades that they were using to make stuff with.
This is insane.
Yeah. One night I'm like sitting there hanging out with this dude at the table, Jeff, it was his name. And he just like looks me dead in the eyes and he's like, Jeremy, so do me a favor. I was like, yeah. He's like, don't make it obvious, but reach underneath your chair. And under your seat, there's a piece of paper. I was like, okay. He's like, you feel it? I was like, yeah, I feel it. He's like, pull it slowly forward to you. I was like, okay. He's like, now hand it to me under the table. I was like, all right. And I was like, what was that? He's like, it's a razor blade. I was like, what are you doing with the razor? He's like, well, I'm making shoestrings, bud. And I was like, oh. And like, they just have like Easter eggs hidden all around this room.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
They have to be so innovative in a way.
They have to be.
Yeah.
And they were like showing me all their tattoos that they got in jail and that they made. And yeah, it was like, it's really impressive, but they're so creative. If they put that same energy into like, I don't know, doing good shit.
Before they got in trouble.
That's the thing. They're all really highly intelligent.
That's insane though, that's how you ended up getting out, is basically by like
Steve was
illegal
like,
contraband.
Yeah, he's like, do you need a phone? I was like, yes, I need a phone. He's like, okay, we'll text my lawyer and get a hold of a lawyer that works in the jurisdiction that you need one in, and he'll handle it from there. But you're going to have to give him your credit card information over the phone, which I didn't have.
Oh no.
And so I text my girlfriend at the time and I was like, hey, get on my PayPal. I'm going to find a lawyer and the lawyer's going to contact you and you're going to pay him. And it's going to be like $2,000, but send him the money. I need the fuck out of here. And so that's how I got out.
Oh my gosh.
And within like 24 hours, the lawyer got me out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's still quite a while to be in there, especially like coming off the stint that you just came off of with that whole situation prior to you even ending up there. That's a lot. I would be.
Yeah,
I just can't.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's like it really did change my relationship with urban exploring.
I imagine.
It didn't make me more afraid to do it. It just makes me more aware of the trade-off of it. You know, like I think that with everything in life, you love this thing and you get so much joy and meaning out of it. And sometimes you just, you know, you got to pay your dues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I called it a business expense. But it was like that when I wrecked my motorcycle this summer and shattered my femur. It's this thing that I love so much. And then every now and then it balances itself out with, you know, you break a bone. And it's a good reminder that with everything that you get joy out of, there's also some pain involved as well.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Whether it hurts your wallet or your leg.
Or your leg. That's the title of this podcast. So how did you get into exploring?
Like you, since I was a kid, I've just been super curious about abandoned places. And I grew up in a small town, so it was very easy to just get kind of lost in those and it not be a huge deal. And yeah, that's kind of where it started. And then I took a little break for a while. And actually, I was trying to track down the video specifically that inspired my reignited passion for URBEX, because this happened late last year. And I think really being in Columbia, South Carolina, it kind of hindered my passion for it. And I really didn't think there was a lot out here, to be honest with you. And I remember last year just being on YouTube and just like, you know, looking at random videos. And I was coming off of one video. I think it was like an abandoned school. And the next video that played was about the Flintstone Mansion. And in the video, I remember distinctly hearing it's on the outskirts of Columbia, South Carolina. And I was like, no. And I was like, how am I going to find this? Because I haven't urbexed in 10 years at this point. So I'm like, how am I going to find this? I've never mapped, nothing. So I go on Google Maps and I'm like, this has a very distinct look to it. This is Columbia. Like, I can do this. And I scour the map and I look all over and I finally find it. And I'm like, that wasn't all that hard, you know? So I was like, what else is around here? And I just start going all over the state on my map and I'm pinning. And I'm like, I live in a gold mine of abandoned places.
You really do.
I really do. And so it wasn't long after that I went to Flintstones and I forgot all about the video. And maybe 4 or 5 months ago, somewhere around there, when I ended the first season of the podcast, I was doing like a reflection thing at the end for the wrap up. And I mentioned in there that I got started doing this again because of a very specific video of the Flintstones mansion. And so yesterday, when I'm scouring over your YouTube, I was like, oh shit, he did the Flintstones mansion. And I click on it, and I instantly, as soon as you said on the outskirts of Columbia, I was like, this is the video that I saw.
No fucking way.
I literally was like, no way is this in Columbia. This person's a liar. Like, I have to go find out myself. I find it myself. So you are literally the reason why I started loving this again. Isn't that fucking crazy? I didn't even realize that.
That's very strange.
Yeah.
I don't want to take credit for it because
but you
obviously
should.
No, but obviously it's already inside of you. It just like took a video to reignite it. But also at the same time, I'm honored that it was my video that you Anyway, thank you.
It
That's
just felt
amazing.
like a full circle moment too, because of course I'm realizing this yesterday and I'm interviewing you
Wow,
today. And I was like,
that's
I
wild.
started to DM that to you and I was like, no, I'm just going to wait to tell him that story when I talk to him for the podcast, because it's just so neat that was like a full circle thing. Crazy.
Damn.
And you did that? Okay, I want to ask you, did you go to film school?
No.
What?
No.
So did you teach all your editing to yourself?
Yeah, but that's how it was for drums as well. And I did that professionally for 12 years. That's the thing.
At this point,
Learning a skill is a skill in and of itself. And I say this all the time. The same rules that apply to any, say you are a great painter and you spent your whole life painting. You've learned the format of doing this. You've learned the technical skill. You've learned the practice of doing it. Mm-hmm. You've learned the skill of this skill. And say if you tomorrow want to decide to be a filmmaker, those same rules that you take from painting apply to whatever else you want to transfer it to.
That's true.
Like so many times with editing and making films, it feels like I'm playing drums because there's a rhythm to it. There's a pace and there's a tension and there's a climax. And then there's a lull that builds anticipation for the next section. It feels like dynamics when you're playing drums. There's a pace. Yeah, there's like a rhythm to it. Mm-hmm. And Questlove actually, I don't know if you follow him or are familiar with Questlove.
Doesn't sound familiar.
He's this, what the fuck is Questlove? I would hesitate to even call him a drummer. That's what he does professionally, but he writes books about art and creativity, but really what he does is he writes about other people and his observations of artists. And he has this one book called The Creative Quest. And in the book, it's basically a storybook. It's basically a history book of artists throughout history, of famous painters. But when you dive more into their lives, you understand, you discover that they're also like a savant musician. Mm-hmm. But they're only known for this painting thing that they do. Mm-hmm. Or there's this chef who is this top world chef that came along and just changed the culinary scene. But when you dive deeper into their life, you then discover that this chef was also this profound poet. And this book has hundreds of stories like this. And basically the point of the book that he's really trying to drive is, it's not about the format. It's just about like the approach. It's about like we limit ourselves to this thing. Like for so many years, I identified as a drummer. It's all I did. I ate, breathed, slept drums. I got up every day, sacrificed relationships for this, sacrificed my life for this. And I had this idea when I was like 23 that this was what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life. When I'm 80 years old, I'm still going to be gigging, touring, doing recording sessions. And that's a dangerous place to be because you limit yourself once you identify with this thing. If you asked me 6 years ago, Jeremy, who are you? I'd be like, well, I'm a fucking drummer, of course.
That's so interesting.
You know? And once I started to realize that there was something else inside of me, this kind of goes back to our earlier conversations about like branching out just outside of music or outside of exploration. Once you start to realize that there's something else inside of you, if you ever feel this pull to do something else, it's probably a solid indication that you should be doing it, mm-hmm. especially if there's fear involved.
That's true. Yeah.
And because I do really think that whatever you're afraid of is probably what you care the most about, or what you like. If you want to know what you're truly passionate about, I think a good place to start is, what are you most afraid of? Mm-hmm. And for me, it was fear of looking dumb, or fear of failure, fear of risking doing YouTube. And once I finally leaned into it, to my surprise, it just took off.
Yeah.
You know? And I was afraid of this old part of myself dying, but it had to die.
Mm-hmm.
This old identity that I had as a quote unquote drummer, it had to die. And I grieved it for a long time. But now, like yesterday, this girl was like, so where do you see yourself 5 years from now? I was like, I have no fucking idea. Do you think you'll be making films 5 years from now? I have no fucking idea. Like,
but isn't there something so good about that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Because I'm not identified with this thing anymore. And now I'm just like, fuck it. I thought 2 years ago, I thought I'm an abandoned explorer. I'm going to be doing this for years, and this is going to be my content, and this is how it's going to be. Next thing you know, like, I'm making a docuseries about war victims in Ukraine, and I'm on the front lines, and there's fucking artillery striking, and I'm in a bulletproof vest, and I'm like, how the fuck did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's because I didn't have tunnel vision to this one thing, this one identity, this one person, and this one thing that I make, and this one, I don't know. I could ramble about this topic for a long time.
No, I like your viewpoint on it. It's very insightful, because I think a lot of people struggle with that, where they've rooted themselves too concretely in one thing, whether it's like their career or their identity as like a parent, a friend, whatever, you know, and they're just so overconsumed with fulfilling the duties behind whatever that identity is that you forget even how to appreciate learning something new and leaning into something that's calling to you, like you're saying. You can talk yourself out of it, but you could also do it. For me, that's how I experience those moments where I decide to lean into this really heavily, because that's the only way I can lean into things is heavily. I can't do anything just like mediocre or half-assed or lackluster. I'm just like, we're going 0 to 1,000,000. And yeah, it's just like this podcast. I saw your video. I found the mansion. I explored the mansion. I started instantly pinning stuff on my maps, instantly driving out to those places, instantly having conversations, making connections on social media, like you, realizing that there's a whole world of people out here that do this, because I felt like I was the only person in the world that was intrigued by something like this, because anyone I talked to in person about it when I was younger was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you going in there? What's so curious? Isn't it dirty? And I'm just like, I'm so free and happy in these places, you don't even understand. So yeah, I can appreciate that viewpoint, because I have always come from a place until I was in therapy where I was really good at talking myself out of stuff, no matter how many times that inner calling came. I was like, that sounds like it's too difficult, or it's too time consuming, or I don't have the resources for it, or whatever the case. And yeah, I've learned along the way that if you think less and do more, then it's better, because then you really get to see if you get to accomplish this thing. And really, it's okay if you get there and you're trying to learn it and you realize in learning it that it's not for you. That's way better than just not starting the process at all, you know? So kudos to you, because I don't know, I can't imagine how it's even more difficult, because it sounds like it was both a career and a hobby for you, like drumming. So to walk away from a creative passion also makes it probably a lot more difficult when you're not doing that anymore. Did you just like stop at cold turkey when you decided to stop drumming? Or how did you go about that?
Yeah, accidentally, actually. I didn't mean it that way.
Oh, wow.
I thought I was just taking a break. But a second ago, you said a career and a hobby. Mm-hmm. And that's the danger of taking a hobby and making a career.
Mm-hmm. You can fall in love with it.
I don't think that people understand. A lot of people don't understand the weight of a decision like that. There's consequences for doing that. And with, obviously, the whole time I was touring, I was doing urban exploration and I was making content about it. but I was being so sacred about it. I didn't want, it meant too much to me to try to make money doing it because I understood the weight. I understood that the quickest way I could possibly kill my love for this is to try to make money doing it. And I wanted to protect that at all costs. Meanwhile, I was just so burnt out on playing drums. Meanwhile, this is just a thing that I did as a job. The love had left the building.
That's sad.
It is so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
But at that time I was like, well, I don't have any other skills. I have no other choice. This is what I do. And I've gotten pretty good at this thing. And, you know, I have all these opportunities and it's keeping me busy and it's keeping my rent paid and whatever. Man, I could start this YouTube thing. No, you don't want to do that. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna commit creative suicide. And when COVID hit, I kind of didn't have a choice. You know, the music industry was decimated. All my gigs went away. I was DJing, doing music production, and playing drums full time. Oh, and programming shows for people using Ableton. And suddenly all of my opportunities just left. Like overnight, they all were canceled. And so I was like, fuck, I'm going to make a YouTube video. Let's see what happens. Luckily, it took off. And I have found with exploring that the reward is so much greater because you're getting feedback, you're getting this community, and you can actively see how you're giving a gift to your audience. Well, one, including you, like how you're telling me this story about how I inspired you to do this thing and like to reignite this passion that you have for this thing that's been lying dormant for years. Man, drumming doesn't do that. It doesn't give me that.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of drunk girls in an audience who look at you like you're a karaoke machine. You're not getting fulfilled by it. And this is a way for me to give back, and it's a way for me to maybe inspire other people. And I know that sounds cheesy, but like it's so true. And you know who really helped me get started in this was Carter.
I was going to say, yeah.
He changed my life. He gave me such a gift that I'm not even really sure he understands the gravity of. He took me under his wing and he showed me that anything's possible, that there are second chances. You know, you can just start making videos.
You can just do it.
You can just do it and just fuck it, man, do it. And like you were saying, you're like, man, you know, you have all these excuses. Basically, you self-sabotage. You're like, well, I'm not good enough. I don't have enough gear. I don't have the right, I don't know. It's too late. I don't look good enough. I sound dumb on camera. I'm a terrible storyteller. What the fuck do I know? No one's going to want to listen to me. I had all these thoughts. And Carter was like, stop. It was so simple for him. He's like, stop doing that. Post a video. And I did. And yeah, it's taken me all over the world at this point. And
that's insane.
Yeah. And I'm like trying to spread the good gospel of everyone to me. I'm like, dude, you should do YouTube. Like you should do YouTube. Like I can help you.
Now you're trying to pay it forward the same way that Carter did you. I mean, that's so good of you to acknowledge, though, because I think there's so much ego in this community. And I've noticed it in this weird way, more so from the people who are just coming in, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I think that it's turned into such a competitive, weird, drama-oriented thing sometimes that people lose sight of the fact that we're people. Carter, more importantly, because he gets so much bullshit thrown at him for nothing. And I'm just like, he's no different than anyone else doing this. In fact, I think he's a little bit better than most of the other people doing this. And it's not just content based. I mean that because of his heart. You know, he's a good person.
Yeah,
he
he's
doesn't
really
want to sabotage anyone. He doesn't consider anyone in his way. He's just doing his fucking thing. So to hear that you have that same energy, because you could have easily been like, I have an ego. I am going to do this better. I'm going to go everywhere. I'm going to top your spots. Like, you could have come in with that energy. So for you to acknowledge that he showed you the way in a way is crazy to hear. I didn't expect that.
He really did.
Yeah.
And I've told him this many times, just how big of an impact he's had on my life. But you said that you've noticed that there's a lot of ego in this community, and it's usually younger people coming in. I honestly think that that's because of a scarcity mindset that people have around this. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed this in every single ecosystem that I've been a part of, in the music industry, in the film industry, the YouTube world, URBEX industry. It doesn't matter. It's kind of the same thing the same pattern that I've noticed. But it's when people have a scare, like when they feel like if I film this spot equals less spots for them. Mm-hmm. Or if I find spot, post it on Instagram, less attention to them. Mm-hmm. And, or, you know, they're like viewing it from a competition. But I was like that when I first came into Nashville as a drummer. When I was like 23, I thought that I had to be better than everyone. Mm-hmm. I thought that I had to be the most talented drummer in the town, because that way I will get gigs, and that way I will start running the show. Mm-hmm. And oh man, that guy got that gig. That means less gigs for me. But literally, there's gigs for everybody. There's enough gigs to go around for fucking everybody.
Especially in Nashville.
Yeah, in Nashville. And just like abandoned building, man, there's enough to go around for everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. One place gets burned down today, another one appears tomorrow.
That's so true.
And it will always be that way. As long as humans keep just humaning, more abandoned places will just become abandoned. And there's an endless supply of this. And in fact, you might find, which I found in the music industry, is if you stop viewing these people like competition and more like friends and comrades and this beautiful passion that both of you share,
it's so much better.
It's so much better. I started getting gigs. Like, some of the biggest gigs that I ever gotten in my life, I'm talking fucking arena tours, were given to me by friends who were drummers. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, bro, hey, I can't do this tour. Do you want to play for Backstreet Boys? And I'm like, yes. Cool. I'll give you in contact with their management. Like, it literally happens this way. Mm-hmm. And you have to be friends with these people. Like, it's like,
and why not? I don't understand why it's so difficult. Because like you're saying, we share a passion, and we're all out here doing the same thing. And I just don't understand the competitive nature behind it. When you can easily go find a spot if you apply your intelligence, and once you're there where I've been, what the hell is the difference? You're going to take a picture at a different angle than me? What are we competing against?
Or they might take the same, or you might take the same photo that everyone else is taking.
The exact same one.
There's a reason why it's cliche, because it's a cool ass fucking photo. Like, I've been in places I'm like, yo.
You're like, I gotta sit at that piano.
Yeah, I know this spot, and I'm gonna take the same fucking photo everyone else is taking, because god damn it, this is a cool ass photo. Mm-hmm. Like, no one owns the place. I know.
And I still don't understand, because there's not enough to set a spot apart for us to be competitive about it. It's a fucking house. It's a school. It's who cares? You know, I'm like, enjoy it while you're exploring.
Yeah. Again, this is scarcity. And I think scarcity does, unfortunately, lead to kind of a zero-sum mentality with these places, or like a competition way of looking at things. And man, I like, if I were to tell anyone anything, any advice, as if I'm in a place to give advice, I would honestly say, make friends, build a community.
Agreed.
Just like have buddies to do this with. Like Steve Ronan, he's fucking coming into LA next month, and we're going to drive up the coast and go to Alaska together.
What?
And,
That's so cool.
yeah. And we're going to look for abandoned buildings and team up and do this. And it's so fun. Like, and honestly, if Steve, you're listening, we're very different people from each other. I don't see in any other reality or lifetime Steve and I ever meeting each other.
Or hanging out.
He lives or hanging out. He lives across the world. But you know what we have in common? We both love doing this thing. And that brings us together. And we both learn from each other. Like I've learned a fuck ton from Steve just on filmmaking. In fact, Steve, you're the first person to tell me the definition. I was like, what does B-roll mean? And he was like, bro.
Same. I did the same thing. I feel so much less bad about it now.
I was like, and this was only like 3 years ago.
No, same. Totally. I think mine was even more recent than that, if I'm going to admit. And I was like, what does everybody keep talking about B-roll for? Like, what?
Yeah, what is B-roll? What is this?
I'm like, well, so if that's B-roll, what's A-roll?
Yeah.
I need to know.
Steve was like, okay, so this is a camera. You point it that way. No, but he was like, bro, and he like explains to me what B-roll is. I was like, oh shit. Okay. All right. And like, by being around these people, you learn so much. Like recently I went to Ukraine. Obviously we talked about, but like I was directing this thing, as in I'm in a position where I'm supposed to be the one who knows more than the crew does.
You're like, I just learned what B-roll was 2 years ago.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know shit. And like the whole time I was like, dude, why are you using that lens? What indie filter are you using? Is that a Pro Mist you're using? Is that is that a 1 or a 2? And like, I'm like, why did you choose that? What microphone are you using? Oh, that's a Sennheiser 416. Why choose that mic? What kind of pickup pattern does it have? Like, I'm trying to learn about this. And this is how you do it. You hang out with other people who've been doing this longer. They know more. They're smarter than you.
And you're okay with that.
You approach this like a kid. There's a Japanese word for this called shozen, where the master is the student. And the students come to him to learn, but little do they know he's learning from them. And it's like this mentality of approaching everything like a child, like this childlike sense of wonder, this curiosity, and this sense of exploration. Right? So anyway, yeah.
I like your viewpoints on everything. We haven't been on the surface with URBEX. We've been diving deeper than that, which I think it helps people really attach the human behind the lens kind of thing. You know, I think everyone has their own interpretations of who we are, but those are never really accurate. So this helps. Well, it's interesting that you never went to film school, because your videos are so great and you pay a lot of attention to your detail and editing, it seems like, where even the tones and the music and the stuff that you're using that's going on in the background really seems to alter and shift and change with the mood of whatever you're displaying. And it's stuff like that where I was like, he must have gone to film school. Like, there's no way that someone's so good at this and they don't know.
I was a DJ in Nashville for a long time. And I just took,
again, a pattern of those skills.
Exactly. It all fucking does. It goes right back to it. But like, I just took that and I was like, well, I feel like I have a pretty solid grasp of like understanding the vibe of a room or the vibe of a scene. And I've always been pretty good at putting sound to visuals. I could totally do the same thing here.
Yeah.
So that's that. With music's so important to me. Like I've hired a bunch of editors throughout the years, and I always tell them, don't fucking touch the music. That will be my job. I'm so particular about the music. Like I don't want some trap beat while I'm trying to tell this story of someone, this devastating, tragic story of this person dying. Like I don't.
And there's like dubstep.
It's like wah, wah, wah. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, just have some emotional intelligence here. Like, honestly, think about the music and what it's trying to convey.
Mm-hmm.
And
it gives off a very movie-like feel. I can just tell what's going to happen by the mood and the aesthetic shift by what's happening with the music in the background that's playing.
Yeah,
so
that's audience retention. That's basically like I'm setting up expectations so they don't click away.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like giving a hint that there's something about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So don't fucking click away.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
And it's like, just give a hint. Or sometimes with B-roll, I'll show B-roll of a scene that's going to happen at the end of the video. So now they're like, fuck.
And you're like, I don't know when this is going to happen. I got to watch the whole thing through.
Yeah, fuck, man. I got to watch. But pro tip, or not pro tip, I'm not a pro, but tip that I have learned is that give little hints throughout your video, like sprinkle in things that keep people.
Yeah, you're good at breadcrumbing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that word, breadcrumb.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I watch your videos, because I know you always do that little split second before shift in the sound, and then you know, like, you're about to get into something.
Well, I got to be honest, and I know Carter, Steve knows this about me, but to tell you the truth, I don't think I've ever watched an exploration video on YouTube in my life. And here's why.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go on.
Because it'll contaminate what I'm doing.
How so?
Well, if I start watching, especially if it's a location that I've explored and I'm making a video of it, it's automatically going to like influence how I make that video. And it's very tempting to click on some of Carter's videos because I'm like, yo, I'm about to make a video of the same place. Just let's see what he did. No, not going to do that because it's going to influence how I make my video. And I want to make my video how I would naturally sit down and make it. And if the moment I watch someone else's, I'm already going to be comparing mine to them. It's just going to contaminate what I'm doing.
You bring up a very good point.
Yeah. So, and the same thing with like locations, like Steve will be like, yo, I got this spot you should check out. If you want to see what it looks like, here's my video for it. And I'm like, no, I'll just take the pen. I'm not going to watch the video because when I walk in there, I don't want to film it like he did, or I don't want to I just don't want it to like fuck with the way I'm doing. And it's nothing personal. And it's funny because I have a really good friend, Jeremy, happens to be the same name as me. Jeremy's a music producer here in LA. And Jeremy and I have been very good friends for a long time. And then like a couple of weeks ago, we're in his backyard. We're having some drinks. He's having a party. And he's like, guys, Jeremy, tell everyone what you do. And I told them. And he's like, and Jeremy, I got to be honest with you. You're a close friend of mine, but I fucking refuse to watch any of your videos.
Why?
Because I just don't want it to change the way that I view you. And I was like, dude, I totally get that.
Yeah.
And you know, come to think of it, Jeremy, I've never listened to any of your fucking songs. And he was like, oh my God. And we like gave each other a hug, but it was like, it was nothing personal.
Yeah. We just don't want it to remove like the human out of the situation.
I want to know you.
Yeah.
I want to know you. I don't want to know. I want to know you. And with Carter, same thing with Steve, exploring with Josh, any of these other people, like, I don't want to watch your stuff. I want to hang out with you and I want to know who you are. And I don't want it to fuck with the way that I make my videos.
No, that makes perfect sense. I think now it's starting to become really clear to me when people ask me like, why are you obsessed with going to abandoned houses? And why do you even bother taking pictures of them if there's nothing inside and they're just ruined? And I'm like, because I haven't seen 1,000 pictures of it on the internet. It's like you
Yeah.
have these high key spots in URBEX that everyone has on their bucket list, or everybody wants to go do their pictures there, whatever. And I'm guilty of that same thing. The Flintstones was one of them. Teacher's house was another one. The list goes on. But it's like outside of those, and even in those, it's like as much fun as I'm having, I've already seen it. I already saw Flintstones. And do you know how disappointed I was to go to Flintstones after I saw it through your lens? You know, like that part is kind of craps, because it's like your video is so good, you document it so good, you have all this stuff going on that matches the mood, the story. You have all these things when you're watching the video that aren't there in the organic experience of it. And then, of course, it's a little more ruined because it's much time later after you documented it. So, of course, by natural law, it's just more shitty as far as the condition is. Yeah, so it's that stuff, but it's also like you're saying, I saw it through your lens first. So even when I'm in the mansion itself,
the element of surprise isn't there. The objectivity isn't there.
And I'm kind of removed now from being so excited about capturing it, because now I'm strategically trying to place myself in positions to take pictures that I don't even know are organic for me. You know, like I don't know what I would have done in here because now it's all fucked up.
Yes.
You know? So I get it.
Well, also, it's not even about the stuff that's inside of it sometimes. It honestly is the feeling you get from it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not like a spiritual person, by the way. Mm-hmm. But I firmly believe that every house has its own personality.
Yeah.
And if you just like sit in that place, by the way, I explore almost 100% alone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you sit in that place and you just like let it, you just like, I don't know, I guess you plug into it. Yeah, there's an emotion that place holds. Mm-hmm. It's a very, you know what it is? It's a very intuition building thing that we do. Mm-hmm. Because you walk in and you're playing detective right away. You're like, damn, what happened here? Mm-hmm. You start to build clues, but really you're feeling the place out. You're smelling it. You're just feeling it. Sometimes I'll lay down on a couch and just like take a little bit of a nap. And ask Carter. Sometimes I've slept in places. And I don't know why I do that. Maybe it's like I just want to get to know it for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I just want to like have this relationship with it for a while and live in this reality for a while. And I really think it helps me like understand the story of it more and just have this intuition about it. And if this house wanted to tell its story, how would it want to be told? And I'm kind of a steward of the story at this point, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like one way to really fuck that up is to watch other people's videos of it.
Oh, that's so true. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. I'm never going to look at that the same now, I'm afraid. So it's a beautiful epiphany to have.
Yeah, nothing personal. It really isn't. And if anyone doesn't watch my shit, I totally get it.
I'm like that too sometimes. I think that people expect that I listen to my own episodes, you know, and I'm like, no. I'm so tired of the situation by the time I've edited it for 8 hours that by the time it's out in the world, I don't want anything to do with it ever again.
Same. Yeah, same. I never watch my videos. Same.
I like know you're supposed to be your own biggest fan, but I don't do it that hard because I'm not going to listen to my own podcast.
Yeah, I'm so fucking burnt out by the time I upload it. I'm like,
you're like, I'm tired of me at this point.
Get this thing out of my fucking face. I'm ready to get rid of it. And I upload it. Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't even watch my own shit.
Yeah.
You know? And I know you're supposed to, like you said, because you're supposed to learn, you're supposed to evolve, and the only way to do it is to watch yourself, and you learn how you talk on camera, all this shit. But
No, I think that builds on its own over time too. You know, like
I think it builds on its own over time.
yeah, the more you do it, the more confident you get doing it, because then it's just another day that you're doing it instead of the first day or just the second day or the third day. Now it's the 300th day, you know, and you're just doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to. I think that's the same way I am with podcasting too. I'm sure my first season sounds horrendous in comparison to now. My interviewing skills probably were not on par. Whatever you could say, you know, I could critique myself from however last year. and then for sure find something to nitpick, but I don't want to do that. I just believe that I've evolved as a person, and I know that if I keep doing this, it just will get better on its own, and that's how life works.
I think you're a very good podcaster.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I was already excited enough when you told me you listened to my podcast. I was like, what? I was like, Jeremy Explores listens to my podcast.
Oh my God. Shut up. No, I've listened to pretty much probably about 10 of your episodes.
Okay. That's good.
I've listened. I think that's a pretty good amount.
That's a very good amount.
I have a solo episode that I really liked. You were talking about fear, and I really I enjoyed that one. I like your solo ones too, where you're just kind of spitballing, but I like the fear one that you had. I really resonated with that. Mm-hmm. In fact, I have a tattoo on my hand that says, "Fear, my friend."
I love that.
Yeah.
That's such a good reminder.
It's a good reminder that this is not a thing to be avoided. Mm-hmm. It's a thing that it's your friend. Mm-hmm. It's a healthy thing that you have. It's a healthy mechanism that you have, but it's also easily confused for something that needs to be avoided. Mm-hmm. And I would beg to differ. And I would even say that once you lean into it, that's where you're going. That's where the good shit's at.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's paraphrasing kind of what your podcast was about. And I have the best thoughts when I'm in an abandoned building. And it coexists with a fear that I have of being there. Mm-hmm. And like you talked about this. Mm-hmm. And your podcast episode. And I really liked that.
Well, thank you.
But it comes along with this like heightened sense, and there's this risk, and then suddenly that's when your best self emerges. Mm-hmm. You have the best thoughts, and suddenly you realize it's no longer an exploration of this building that you're in. You're really exploring yourself. Mm-hmm. So and I just don't think that people, and this is why this tattoo exists, fear my friend. Because this is what that unlocks. This is what that does. When you lean into this thing, this state of being afraid of like, oh God, this could go south real quick. You really start to figure out what you're made of. Mm-hmm. You really get to know yourself. Mm-hmm. You really start like exploring yourself more than the place that you're at. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how comfortable you are just not knowing the next thing. You know, I think that tells you a lot about yourself, is how every step in an abandoned place matters, you know, but you don't really know that until you've done it and explored it, and you know all the risks thereafter, but every step matters. So it's like it heightens your sense of self-awareness, but also your intuition. And I think the two coupled together just really allow you to see how you react to the unknown, like in real time, you know, and I think that'll teach you more about yourself than anything that's planned ever will.
Yeah.
And that's why I hate when people are like, oh, where do you see yourself in a couple of years or even next week? I'm like, I don't know. Next week I could want to go to Tennessee. Next week I could want to go to New York. Yeah. I don't know. Or LA. But I know that I'm going to probably end up somewhere that I don't know exists right in this moment. And that's exciting. Or somewhere that I haven't stepped foot in this moment. And that's exciting. I know that much.
Yeah, it is exciting.
Yeah. So I think it just introduces you to so many awesome things, you know, outside of just like the experience of exploring and how adventurous that can be. But I think
the fact that you're like, I'm excited to not know where I'm going to be, already tells me that you trust yourself.
100%. Yeah.
that you know that you got you.
Yeah.
No matter what, no matter where you're at.
That doesn't even matter the circumstances.
Courtney's got Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing to me that URBEX has really given me, that gift of just, man, I got me.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I love being with me.
Mm-hmm. But you would not
Especially-
get there if you didn't spend as much time by yourself as you did, you know?
Mhm.
And that's why that's so super important too, because
Yeah.
you just don't know. You don't know what you're made of until all of that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to challenge other people that I've explored with, like, hey, I know it's probably a terrible idea, but some of the best ideas are the worst ideas. What if you try to explore with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
just not with another person?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you'll be really surprised at what you'll learn or what you'll see. And it's going to be really scary at first. And after a while, it's just going to be second nature.
Yeah.
After a while, you're going to be in an abandoned 1800s insane asylum in the fucking tunnel system in Paris, France, by yourself at 2 a.m. And you're not even going to realize, you're not even going to be scared. You're going to be so comfortable in it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to develop this relationship with this, like, with this unknown, like this fear, and you're going to thrive in it. This is where your best self is going to step forward.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this is where you learn to thrive in it. You learn to be happy in it. And yeah, I don't know. It's, man, URBEX is fucking beautiful.
It really is. It really is. I don't really know a lot of topics that I could talk to someone about for this long, you know? And that goes with any interview I do. Like, usually they end up being 2-3 hours long. And I'm like, this is how you know it's such a beautiful topic and such a beautiful thing. Because we can sit here and just go on and on and on about all the things that it does for us, you know? What else can you name that's really like that?
I know. I love talking to other explorers. I'm like, dude, what's it like for you? Like, what have you learned?
You're like, is it this poetic for you also?
It is. It is for everybody. It really is. Even though, like, people don't, like, convey it that way, like, I hear them talking about, I'm like, yep, dude, we have both arrived at the same shit about this, you know?
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
So nice.
Anyway, but also back to what I was saying, you're a very good interviewer. You're a very good conversationalist, and it's not sterile. There's no formalities. You're a good conversationalist.
Thank you.
And you make people feel very comfortable.
That's my goal. I don't think people realize how much energy is picked up from your audience or your listeners. And I feel like when two people are communicating, that's such a firm energy exchange because it's a more intimate setting. So I don't ever want the tension or the awkwardness or nervousness to ripple over into my audience. I want it to be like we're friends on a FaceTime call and we're just talking about URBEX, which is something we're geeked up about, all of us. So it's just let it be that.
Yeah, it's very disarming. It feels safe. And
I'm glad I did.
You did that with Carter when he was talking about about his ex-wife that fucked him over. You just held, I hate this term, but it's true. You just held space.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell you were going through this story with him and you were asking questions and you were so involved in it and you're very attentive. And each time you did that, he would lean into the story a little more. Mm-hmm. And each time you asked a question, the story would just, another layer of the fucked up story would just unfold. And I know this story well because I was in it. I was there for him during this time of his life.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting hearing him tell the story in hindsight now. When he would call me and was like, yo, I don't know where she's at. I think she might be cheating on me. And I'm like,
oh, no.
Fuck, man.
That's terrible.
I don't know how to tell you this, but that's what it sounds like to me too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way he told the story is also, you can tell he's just so much wiser from it now. He's learned a lot.
Yeah, I can tell. It also turned into a highlight moment because I think that most everyone that listened to that episode, especially within the first few days, was commenting on how it just seemed like we were friends for so long. And that was my first time ever talking to Carter.
Oh shit. Honestly,
Yeah.
I thought that you guys had talked before.
Nope. That was my first time ever talking to him. So I was surprised that he kind of let me into his personal life a little bit and gave me a little bit of that backstory, which I was appreciative of, because I think people don't expect that out of him when they don't know him and they just ridicule him to death or whatever. I just feel like it was I like the direction that the interview ended up going, especially because he touched base on those things. And then I got to pick on him a little bit for some of the stuff he did.
You did. You called him out.
I did about the tattoo. I'm like, Carter, come on.
Yeah. And you're also like, yo, these are red flags. How did you fucking just miss this? Anyway. Yeah, you kind of gave him a hard time.
It wasn't my pure intention, but if you know me, you're going to get a hard time out of me if you're.
No, it was out of love. It honestly was.
Totally. And I'm so glad it seems like his partner now is so much better suited for him and so much
she's incredible,
kinder, and all the things that Carter deserves, because I don't even know how he dealt with that ever. That just sounds like a nightmare situation. So I'm like, I don't know. I hope that if nothing else, he has the boundaries intact that are needed to go forward in life.
I think it's good that he went through that. I've had my own version of that where I've just been in a fucked up dynamic, and
well, you don't realize how toxic those situations often are until you're out of them,
Yeah, when you're in it, it's so covert. Well, it's covert at first. No one just shows up
being toxic.
Being toxic. We all put our best foot forward, and we all wear our best outfits when we're first dating and we're smitten and we're in the honeymoon phase. And then vulnerability comes in, and you start to peel back the layers, and you start to see who this person is, and but you're already so deep in it at this point, and it's chemical.
Yeah, that, and I think it's always the element of the benefit of the doubt, where you're hanging on to the person that you were, that you were with, that you've been introduced to in the beginning, that exists, but you don't realize often that that's not like a maintainable version of themselves oftentimes in the beginning. You're like, well, that was fun.
But how do you keep from being jaded now from it, where like now I know that whenever I meet someone and I'm like, whoa, this girl is she's incredible. I'm now realizing that it's limerence. Like I'm building this story that's probably not real about this person. And now I'm just like, she's probably not all that great.
But that's so quick. That's such a quick extreme. You're going from one end of a spectrum to the total opposite. You're not leaving any wiggle room for there to be middle ground, Like, I think you have to understand that those feelings create what your expectations are. So I think you have to emotionally remove yourself from expectations and realize what you're setting out as expectations, because a lot of us do that without ever knowing that, like, hey, it's an expectation for me to have time with you on the weekends. Or it's an expectation for you to always act like you did when we first got together, because that's who I know you as. So you're not allowed to be vulnerable. That's my expectation. You don't say that to yourself because it sounds fucking crazy, first off. But like, you're doing it so subconsciously that when you're in the relationship or you're journeying toward whatever phase, you're already sabotaging it. Like you were saying before about your own like approach to talents or skills or new things. You're already sabotaging it by saying, well, she's probably not that great. But that's your fear, I think, of getting close to see. I think you have to know you got to get close to see before you can really decide whether it's worth it or not.
Yeah, that's so true.
And people are always going to have flaws. That's the main thing. Like, you're not going to know if someone's perfect for you until you've really endured some hard shit with them. And that's when you really find out those things. It's not how much you have in common or how compatible you are. It's like, when we don't have the comfortability we normally have, when we're going through like a super hard time, when we're facing death, illness, a loss, whatever the case, how do we come together in those moments? And what does that look like? Are you supporting me? Am I supporting you? If I tell you the best way to support me is to give me space, are you going to do that? You know, it's like those things are really at large that you're never going to know about that until way down the line. You're never going to find that out by 4 or 5 dates.
That's so true. That's so true.
It's never going to come without a risk, basically. And the risk will always be your attachment to someone. And you just have to like decide whether that's worth it or not.
Wow. I mean, that's so true. You don't really know a person until there's some type of unexpected event or challenge.
Something hard, you know, and uncomfortable.
Something that presents the question, like something that you have to choose now to love them.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we're in like this honeymoon phase, or when we're, you know, when we view this person as perfect or flawless, it's not a choice to love them. You can't help but.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's really when you wake up one day and you question whether you do.
Yeah.
And you then have to choose to do it. And now get creative with it even, and find new ways to keep falling in love with this person.
Yeah.
And
but I don't think the right person will make you feel that way. I think that the small things that are more meaningful will be those reminders, you know, like how they communicate with you, and if they ask you how your day is going, and if they seem attentive to like your smaller needs. Do you know my love languages? Do you understand the silent things? You know, it's like how good of a team you are. And you don't question anymore, like, do I love this person? Are they worth whatever, my time, my energy, my resources, my intimacy? You know, like that doesn't even come into play. I think you just know those things because you're working consistently well together, because you have to, you know, that's life. So it's like you don't leave room for any of that. You just know. You know, because they talk to you the way that you want them to, and they appreciate you, and it's all that kind of stuff, is in my opinion anyway. I mean, some people are like, you better buy me a Rolls Royce and then I'll love you. Well,
fuck those people.
And that shit means nothing to me. You know, it's like, who can I live under the bridge in a cardboard box with? That's like what it means to me. You know, I don't give a fuck.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't care about like any of that. Like that just doesn't mean anything. But I think, you know, like you were saying with the happiness thing, everyone is so absorbed in this instant gratification thing that it makes me wonder how people do relationships anymore anyway, because to me it builds over time. It like has a lot of depth, that has a lot of meaning, and it's like all these principles that have gone out the window to people, it seems like, these days. And now everyone's ignoring red flags, and everyone's in a toxic relationship, and everyone's just ignoring the fact that there's billions of people in the world, and you don't got to deal with that.
Isn't that interesting how everyone's ignoring red flags, getting into toxic relationships, yet everyone is also a therapy expert.
Yeah, give me a break. Everyone's a life coach.
Everyone's a narcissist. Everyone's toxic. Everyone's triggered. And
everyone's unhinged.
And these people are throwing around these terms that they really don't understand the true meaning of.
Yeah,
and
or the
someone made you uncomfortable. Someone hurt your feelings. Someone fucked up. Someone was a dick. Now they're a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and come on. And I hate to say it, but I truly believe that everyone has narcissistic tendencies, 100%. Including myself. And it's not even that bad of a thing. It's your ego protecting its identity. It's protecting itself. Of course, you're going to have narcissistic tendencies at times, mm-hmm. especially when you're in a state of feeling threatened or like a survival state. Mm-hmm. It's a mechanism that's good. We've evolved to have this for
a reason.
For a reason. But and I'm not justifying being a narcissist or a fucking asshole.
No, but I think I know what you're saying, which is to have a healthier relationship with your ego, and not like, I think a lot of people don't realize that their ego is steering the ship when it really needs to just be like your side passenger. It needs to only rear its head in certain situations. And as long as you have like healthy emotional regulation skills, I think you can tap into your ego just fine without being a narcissist, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's the people that like lead with their ego and they're like, I'm the best, I'm the fastest, I'm the smartest, I'm the quickest, I'm, you know, everything. And you're just like, no, that will never be true.
Yeah. I hate the saying, kill your ego. I'm like,
no,
you would have nothing left. Like we need it. It's important. But like you said, it's like, being aware of it, just like tapping into it.
I think it just deserves, it's like one of those like motorcycles with a little like side thing. I don't know what that's called.
Car?
Yeah, like one of those. Your ego needs to sit in that. It deserves like almost an equal playing field, but not quite. Like you're in fucking charge of where you're going.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you have your ego there to tell you like, hey, pump the brakes here for a second. Like we need to self-preserve or go full throttle because we know we got this. You know, like it's one of those things. Like you can't just be like, here, take over. Because then you're a narcissist.
Yeah, then you can, totally. I mean, I'm sure I let my ego drive me. I mean, shit. You know, like it happens. I really care about. What do I care about? Oh, it's hard for me to release a video. I'm sure you've noticed. I hardly post videos on YouTube. Because they have to be perfect. And it sucks. I really struggle.
That's not an ego thing, do you think? I think that's being you're a perfectionist. There's nothing wrong with that.
Sure. I do have this idea. I'm like, I would rather post one video a fucking year and people still be watching this video 10 years from now than post a video a week and they're throwaway. Mm-hmm. But I was like this with music too. Like it had to be perfect. It had to be the best. And the truth is, it's not ever going to be. Mm-hmm. But like, it's a delusion that I have. And it's so interesting. Like everything that happened in music also is happening now. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't see them as two separate things at all. The same type of codependent relationship that I had with music is happening with YouTube as well. Mm-hmm. Just making films. And I'm starting to understand that this is kind of it's kind of the monster that sits on my shoulder that keeps me going, that keeps me getting better. Mm-hmm. It's this like turmoil that I have. And I kind of need it. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like learning to make friends with it.
That's a good place to be, though, to acknowledge that.
You know about shadow work? Mm-hmm. It's the same concept where you have this really shitty side of you. And instead of like rejecting it or being embarrassed about it or ashamed of having this thing that you have that no one else really knows about, one day you wake up and you're like, hey, what if I just decide to like talk to it? It's kind of like just accepting the parts of you that you're not proud of. And then you make friends with it and you start to realize that like, actually, I kind of like this thing about me. It kind of is that unhinged part about me that kind of makes me fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. And shit, you know what? If I didn't have that, I wouldn't have done A, B, and C with my life.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And you know, it makes me a very passionate person. Mm-hmm. And goddamn, I like that part of myself. And like, I leaned into it. Here I'm embarrassed about it or ashamed of it. But the same part about me that makes me feel like everything has to be perfect is also the same part about me that cares so much. Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's part of why you get jaded with relationships because you want those to be perfect too?
Yeah, I'm I'm a performance. Yeah, I want to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And not for other people to see me as great, but I want to feel like I'm great.
Yeah.
And I could dive into why that is. Childhood trauma and feeling small throughout my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's a miracle. Let's just say it's a miracle that I'm alive, and it's a miracle that I'm here. I should be in Kentucky on meth.
Yeah.
I should.
But I think it's probably goes back to what you were just saying, those parts of you that got you to do things that you would otherwise not have, and maybe do something like explore abandoned places, and that lead from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, you know?
Yeah, Jeremy explores.
Yeah, that's what got you out of Kentucky, you know? So in a way, I feel like it's like you're saying, in the greater scheme, you have to make peace with all the parts of yourself, because there is something to be appreciated about even the parts that are kind of rougher to understand, or that you don't like so much, or whatever the case is. We all.
I'm a little rough around the edges.
Yeah,
for sure.
Same. I'm a huge asshole, and a lot of people don't realize that. And I'm like, no, it's true. I'm working.
I can't.
I'm working on it, but it's there.
I don't see it. I don't see the assholery.
That's a good.
I do see the brutal honesty.
Well, that's a good thing too.
I think that's good.
Yeah. And that's like the highest compliment that anyone could ever give me, because that's exactly how I want to be. I just want to be authentic, and I want to not have anything. Like, I don't want to have a plan for a conversation, and I don't want to have a plan for the next move, and I don't want to be this like calculated, staged person. I just want to connect with people, and I want that to be like enough and authentic and feel that way to everyone.
Yeah, yesterday my friend was like, so what are y'all going to talk about? I'm like, I don't know. And I like it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep it that way. Mm-hmm. When I went to Ukraine and I was interviewing these artists, obviously I had like this story arc that I was like journaling about with these people to kind of steer the ship a little bit, but I didn't come in with a list of questions.
Well, you would just let them tell their story.
Yeah, just walk in their home, talk to them, listen to them.
Yeah.
Ask them one question that leads to an hour-long monologue about the horrors that they've witnessed, and just let the cameras capture what they're saying. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I'm over in the corner and I'm crying, you know, like seriously.
How can you not? Yeah.
I know. How can you not? Yeah, man. But I think coming into things with no plan is a lot of times really great.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
We don't have plans for when we walk into an abandoned house. We figure that shit out.
Mm-hmm. That's the best part about it.
Like, obviously, when I get there and I'm with Carter or something, I'm like, yo, dude, so by the way, if someone comes up the driveway from that way, you and I are running out that way. Got it? Cool. Let's unlock this door. Let's get this prepared. All right, now let's start filming. It's like have a backup plan, but like that's pretty much the extent of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. We've talked for a long time. How long we've been doing this?
Probably like close to 3 hours. I guess we'll wrap it up for the sake of editing and your day, my night. I will let you tell me your Explorer's track. It's just like any song or any kind of music that's inspiring to you, to your URBEX journey.
Oh, I got you. My exploration song is called Spiral by RYX. It's kind of one of those songs that's a plug and play. You can put it to a lot of your videos and it fits the vibe of URBEX. It's kind of mysterious, a little sad, melancholy, and it's beautiful. And I'll put this song on sometimes when I'm on a road trip or like driving over some cliffs overlooking the ocean. Or yeah, it's such a beautiful song.
I love that. Well, can you tell people where they can find you, like your YouTube, social media, all that stuff?
Yeah, so my social media is Jeremy Explores. It's spelled JEREMY X without the E, Plores. And it's that way on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and above all else, YouTube.
The primary.
And yeah, that's my primary outlet because it pays. It actually appreciates its artists. Mm-hmm. And that's where you can find me. Courtney, what a pleasure.
Thank you. What a pleasure it is to talk to you, Jeremy. Seriously. You are like my hero.
Whatever. I hope we get to explore together one day.
That would be amazing. I would die, literally. I would be a little bit fangirly. I'll just forewarn you now in advance so you can prepare for that experience. I won't like scream or anything or show up like with a shirt that has your face on it. I might do that. I don't know. But we'll see.
I prefer if you do.
Okay. I won't forget that.
I think you should.
Okay. Just
No. I think you should wear it.
I'm going to wear it and come with a poster.
And then I'm going to like take off my jacket and mine's going to be like, oh my God, Courtney. You know?
Please do it. Please do it.
Yeah, it's going to just be like in your face on the back. Like your fucking headphones on. From a screenshot of the conversation. Little did you know I've been screenshotting this entire conversation.
That would be amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of today's journey through the forgotten with Jeremy Explores. Huge thank you to Jeremy for sharing his stories, his insight, and the kind of real, honest moments that make episodes like this unforgettable. If you aren't already following him, go check out his content at Jeremy Explores on social media and YouTube. And thank you for listening to Echoes of Elsewhere. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, rate the show, and share it with a friend. Stay connected with me on social media at URBEX Echoes on Instagram and TikTok, and at Echoes of Elsewhere on Facebook. I will be back in 2 weeks. Until then, keep exploring the allure of the abandoned, the beauty of decay, and the echoes of elsewhere.